Hi, my name is Faruk and I'm in Lake Tahoe for the first time in my life, and I'm amazed by how beautiful this place is. But I'm here for a really exclusive interview about macOS Tahoe with Stephen Tonna. Let's go! All right, so here we are at Lake Tahoe talking about macOS Tahoe with Stephen Tonna.
Thank you for having me, Faruk.
I cannot believe we're doing this. I mean, look at this. This looks like green screen or we're in the volume or something, but we're actually really here.
We are in fact in Lake Tahoe, and it's just this is the place that just never its view never gets old, right? It's truly amazing.
I'm really happy that I'm chatting with you about this because you've been with Apple for a really long time.
I have. I just actually this past June I celebrated 25 years at Apple, so it's been incredible.
25 years. So you joined right when macOS 10 was coming out. You've seen a lot of legendary moments from PowerPC to Intel to Apple Silicon, the release of the iPhone and all of that.
Yeah, I have. I've been really fortunate to be part of so many incredible moments in Apple's history, and it's just been fun to be a part of that.
I've been living in California since 2008, and I feel like I'm home here. But whenever I travel, every place I see mesmerizes me. There's so much happening here. Whenever I go to Yosemite, next to Half Dome, I feel like a tiny person. I realize how insignificant I am in this giant universe. Whenever I go to Big Sur, I get out and I have to look at the view and sequoia, giant trees and everything. And now, Tahoe. When you're picking the names, is there a correlation between the operating system and the name?
No, I love that question, right? We love these names, and they've been part of the identity of macOS for a long time, right? I'm sure you remember we started with our cat names, right? Eventually ran out of cats and moved to our California theme, which is perfect, right? California is where this is Apple's home, right? This is where we design our products, and this amazing diverse set of locations that we have in California, right? From beaches to forests, deserts, and of course mountains, give us this incredible set of names that can help reflect our releases. And this year with Tahoe, it could not be more perfect, right? macOS Tahoe is all about beauty, right? With that incredible new design that we have featuring liquid glass, and power, right? Those great features inspired by the way our pros work on Mac, things like Spotlight and shortcuts come together perfectly. And that's what Lake Tahoe is all about, right? You have this stunningly beautiful lake, crystal clear waters, combined with the mighty and powerful Sierra Nevada mountains that frame it in perfectly.
And of course, the big thing about macOS Tahoe is the liquid glass. And when you think about an operating system that's going to be used by hundreds of millions of people with different habits, with different backgrounds, different professions, when it comes to user experience, how do you approach the liquid glass?
You know, we are so excited about this new design. And a key part of this was providing a beautiful look for macOS, one that brings a new level of vitality to the experience, and also one that really elevates and puts even greater level of focus on the user's content, right? That's the star of the show, right, is what you're working on. And this design also puts an even greater level of focus on your content, and that's thanks to this new material, liquid glass, right? Your content is the star of the show. That's what you're working on, and that's where the focus should be. But what I think we're really proud of is that we were also able to deliver this entirely new design in a way that felt instantly familiar, right? When you upgrade to macOS Tahoe, you don't have to relearn how to use your Mac, right? It all feels entirely fresh and entirely familiar all at the same time. And we went across the entire system, right? It was important to us that we looked at those iconic elements of the Mac, things like the dock with our updated icons that have been crafted from liquid glass that you can now customize for the very first time, things like widgets, control center, which you can also add new controls from both Apple apps and third party, and even pin them right to the menu bar for easy access. And speaking of the menu bar, right, that's also something that's very iconically Mac, and now it's fully transparent. And it has this really neat effect that makes your display even feel even larger. And we went into even the smallest details across the system. We refined menus, and many of them now include icons and symbols that make them even easier to find what you're looking for. Buttons, sliders, and switches, all those things that you interact with your mouse day in and day out have all been meticulously crafted and refined. We are so excited about this new design, and not just in macOS Tahoe, but the fact that this lays the foundation for future innovations.
What makes Apple Intelligence so interesting to me, it is not an app. It is a thing that is completely in the system, and it works with the system when it comes to writing tools or summarize notifications with live translation. The Apple Intelligence really helps me a lot. Now it is in the shortcuts. So what does this mean for us?
You know, we've been building AI and machine learning into our products for a long time. And we've been putting these incredible features right where our users need them, right? Things like the ability to take the subject from a photo and copy it and remove it from the background, or even interact with text in an image by simply using the same gestures that you would use with any other text, right? Just drag and select. Or even finding the photo that you're looking for, but you don't remember maybe where it was taken or what it's called, but you just remember what was in the photo. Well, we can use machine learning, and we have been, to understand the content of your photos, and so many more features. And so when it came to Apple Intelligence, right, we were able to leverage this incredible capability of generative AI and large language models, combined with the power of Apple Silicon, to deliver an entirely new set of features that just weren't possible before. You know, but we did it in a way that retained that philosophy of useful and relevant features right where the user needs them, right? Like as you brought up, writing tools. So if you want to rewrite something, virtually anywhere you can type, those tools are right there where you need them. Yeah. Or if you want to quickly create an image or send a Genmoji, that's right in Messages. Or now, if you want to have text translated, you can do that in Messages, or even have your FaceTime calls or your phone calls translated. So many more. And what I think is equally important is we've able to bring these incredible capabilities with generative AI and Apple Intelligence in a way that continues to deliver on our commitment to preserving user privacy, right? Yes. That is so important to Apple. As you probably know, at Apple, we privacy is a fundamental human right. Yeah. That's what we believe, and that's how we design our products. And with Apple Intelligence, it's no different, right? Many of these features run entirely on device. And when we need to go to the cloud, we can go to our private cloud compute, right? These are models that run on Apple servers running Apple Silicon. Your data is never stored there. Apple cannot access it. And independent experts can even verify the software that runs on there. This is just a groundbreaking approach to privacy and AI.
Many of us use Macs for work and for fun. And by that, I mean Cyberpunk is on Mac. Gotta check it out, it's fantastic. What I realize is when I use my Mac, everything becomes a muscle memory. When I use Final Cut, when I'm editing a photo, I'm not even thinking about what I'm doing, I'm just doing it. So when it comes to changing the system, changing how it works, when it's tweaking and making it better, for example, adding the features on Spotlight, what is your approach for users like us that we don't feel out of place, but advances our experience?
No, I'm glad you brought this up, right? Because it's pretty incredible to think about the fact that you can do so many things on the Mac now, from web browsing and email all the way up to editing movies, all right on the same Mac, right? And that's thanks to the incredible power of Apple Silicon and its deep integration with macOS. And so as we think about the features that we want to build, in the future, our approach is to think about, well, how can we build things that'll help our users get even more out of this incredible products, right? We've got this amazingly diverse range of users, from students and creatives to developers and everyone in between. And so we want to help each and every one of those do their best work on these incredible products. The updates to Spotlight this year, which were the biggest update we've ever done, were really inspired by the work that some of our most pro users do on the Mac, right? We want to help them squeeze every ounce of productivity out of it. And as you mentioned, a lot of those users want to do even more right from the keyboard. So now, right from Spotlight, you have access to hundreds of system and app actions that let you quickly send an email, send a message, even access the menu commands for the app that you're using, all right there from the keyboard. And for those users who want to automate tasks, right, we have shortcuts. And this year, shortcuts can tap into the power of Apple Intelligence to let them do incredible things, right? You can access writing tools and image playground if you want to generate an image as part of your shortcut. Or you can take it even further and tap directly into the Apple Intelligence models right from your workflow and have the sales results feed back into the rest of it to let you do things that just weren't even possible before.
The phone app is something I use a lot on my Mac. And as you were mentioning, while we're working, while we're in the zone, we don't want to keep our hands and eyes away from the computer because we're in the role, we're going, we're getting stuff done. And now with the macOS Tahoe, it brings in the live activities into our screen so we can see what's happening without even leaving the computer screen. But at the same time, I feel like the more things are happening, it may cause more distractions. So how do you balance this?
No, it's a great question. And it's, you know, the phone app and the suite of features that we call continuity, it's one of my favorite things to talk about, right? This is an incredible way to use your Apple products together, right? On their own, they're amazing. And when you bring them together, you can do so much more, right? It unlocks this new capability. And we know that a lot of our users have multiple Apple products, right? And so we're able to let you do really amazing things between them, right? It's things like copy text from one device and paste it on another, right? You can start an email on your iPhone and finish it on your Mac, and a whole bunch more, right? And this year, as you point out, we've got the phone app, right? So let's say my phone's charging in another room, or I just want to leave it in my pocket. I have access to all that same content that's on the phone app on my iPhone, right on my Mac, right? Call history and favorites and recents, and even those great new features like call screening and hold assist, which means that you can stay focused on your Mac and get the things you need to get done, even while if you want to leave your phone right there in your pocket. And with iPhone mirroring, kind of same idea, right? This is a way to access all that great content on your iPhone right on the screen on your Mac. You can even get notifications from your iPhone apps. And we're really smart about this, right? We only show you notifications for the apps that are on your iPhone, but if you have that same app on your Mac, we're not going to show it to you twice. And we give users control over this, right? So if you can choose whether or not you want to see those notifications. You can pick and choose which apps you receive notifications from. And so we really, give the user a lot of flexibility and control over how they experience these amazing features.
With Apple Silicon, the performance of the Macs became insanely good. It is so powerful and so power efficient since M1. And now when you're designing, now when you're coming up with macOS Tahoe, that is going to take the advantage of the latest Apple Silicon. You also consider how it's going to work on the previous generations. How do you approach this?
Something that we're really proud of is our industry-leading support for hardware, right? macOS Tahoe is available on Mac models going back many years, and it's something that we work really hard at. And our philosophy here is actually quite simple. We want as many users as possible to be able to experience these amazing new features, and that's something that we work really, really hard at. Now, of course, there are going to be features that require newer hardware to deliver even better experience. But overall, it's about bringing these features to as many users as possible. And this is really the value of owning a Mac, right? And all of our Apple products, right? Is you get these amazing software updates that help your device feel new each and every year, that let our users do incredible things and new things year in and year out.
One of my favorite things is the feedback feature, which is something I use a lot, and I write to Apple and I make a request, and sometimes it comes through and I feel so wonderful about it. For example, when you right-click on an external drive on macOS Sequoia, the eject and erase were right above each other. I said, can we have a little separator? Because sometimes I work till 5 a.m. in the morning, and sometimes I know there's extra steps to delete your external drive, but I still wanted a little bit of space. And with macOS Tahoe, we have that space. I feel so seen. So how do you guys approach the feedback from users?
You know, we love hearing from our users, and we're always listening to the feedback. And that's actually one of the really great parts of the beta that we do starting at WWDC, and it goes over the summer, is we're able to hear how things are going. How are people using these features, and what can we do to further refine them so that they enable users to do what they need to do and help make our products even better.
What is one feature that no one is talking about in macOS Tahoe?
I love this question right there. And it is hard because there's so many great features to explore in macOS Tahoe. But one that I think folks might want to hear about is vehicle motion cues, right? This is a feature that can help reduce the effects of motion sickness by placing these dots on the screen that actually move as you're using your Mac in a vehicle. Let's say you're using your Mac on a bus or in a car, as so many of us do as we're using our Macs to work out and about. This can help limit the effects of motion sickness. And it's something that we have introduced on iPhone and iPad last year, and this year we brought it to the Mac.
What is your favorite feature in macOS Tahoe?
You know, it's always tough to choose among so many great features. But I think for me this year, it really has been all about Spotlight, right? I definitely fall into the camp of I want to do more and more from the keyboard. And I'm finding that as I build that into my workflow, I'm able to be more efficient and more productive, quickly sending emails, messages, as well as just the ability to browse my files easier than ever, right? You can now filter by file type, all right from Spotlight. And it's all about increased productivity. And so I think, yeah, Spotlight for me has been a game changer.
Okay, then I have a personal question. Where do you keep your dock on your Mac?
That's a very personal question. I'm a bottom dock person. I've tried it in different places, but I continue to just love it having it at the bottom.
Auto hide or no auto hide?
Always visible. I want to see all those apps right there at the bottom.
Exactly the same. Exactly the same. And you work at Apple Park. You go there to work. That's your workplace. I go there twice a year for WWDC and the iPhone events. And every time I walk in there, I'm mesmerized by that place. It's so inspiring, it's huge, it gives you such good energy. What is it like when you work there every day, when you go there every day? Does that lose its effect or?
You know, it does not. Every day I come in, I just feel so fortunate that I'm able to work in this incredible environment, right? One that's really designed for interacting with my colleagues, walking throughout the beautiful grounds, and it is the perfect setting for working, which doesn't even feel like work when you're at Apple Park, but it's the perfect setting for that.
That's fantastic. Well, these are all the questions I have. So thank you very much.
No, thanks for having me. That was a blast. It was incredible to be here in Lake Tahoe talking about macOS Tahoe. This stunningly beautiful place. It couldn't be a better place to have a chat. Well, I hope you come back. There's so much to do here.
I will be back.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you appreciate it. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
May I have a request? May I make a request?
Of course.
In the calendar app, if I add an airport time, like if I'm going on a flight, when it gives it time for you to be at the airport, I think